next segment, uh, Steve Myles's title for his talk is The Water in Which We Swim. Is UU Culture White Supremacist is just my title. Steve Myles has a BS in chemical engineering and an MBA from Rutgers and worked his entire career with ExxonMobil in managerial assignments in refining, project management, and systems. He's been a UU since 1976. Right now, he's a member of the UU congregation of Fairfax, Virginia, where he's was lay minister for social justice and served on the board of directors for 3 years. Here's Steve Myles.
Hi. We cannot see the water in which we swim. This metaphor has been frequently used to describe how we are not aware of all the racism around us. It's a powerful metaphor and perhaps describes the United States of America, but it's not universal. All populations in the United States are not the same, including ours. Every person who walks through the doors of your congregation has passed through a filter. Our principles are that filter. What encourages people to join us instead of any other local church are that our principles set us apart and resonate with their beliefs, how they lead their lives and how they want to raise their children. Yes, we are all swimming in a white supremacy culture, but let's be careful about what water we're talking. The water in which UU swim is not the same as the water in the rest of the USA. Just like my tap water is not the same as the water that comes out of my reverse osmosis filter, it's not valid to equate the two. Although the water in which the UU swim bears little resemblance to what's outside our church walls, it's not perfectly clean. We make mistakes. We're human. We're incompetent, but we are not malicious. Microaggressions and sporadic discriminations cannot be compared to the racial atrocities happening outside our walls. We are right to be focused on anti-racism, and we should all get behind those efforts. But the thrust of those efforts should be pointed outward, not inward. We are open-minded folks who like to learn. We can become better informed about racism and correct our internal mistakes. We can sign up for the Journey to Jubilee course. But far better will come from efforts that focus on external issues that directly affect minority populations, police behavior, school board education practices, business and local government hiring practices, banking practices, healthcare, affordable housing, and we should all partner with other groups working to address these. There is no need for a huge denominational upheaval. There is no need to change our foundational statements. The recent actions of the UUA taken in pursuit of dismantling internal white supremacy, as noble as they might sound, are misguided and dangerous. Being accountable to others may sound appealing, but it opens the door to destructive behaviors we are already seeing. Ministers accusing ministers, congregants being asked to leave for disagreeing. Our principles call us to a free and responsible search for truth and meaning, not covenants and accountability. The lyrics from the song, Turn the World Around, are especially meaningful in today's highly polarized world. Do you know who I am? Do I know who you are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? That takes time. It takes time to see another person clearly, and it takes courage to be willing to make one's hurt visible to others so they can see. Being afraid to speak for fear of causing harm and instead agreeing to disagree leaves issues unsettled and unresolved. But worse, eliminating the very filter that brings in the kinds of people most willing to remain in discussion and will make it far more unlikely we will ever improve. And introducing a concept like being accountable is far too subjective, invisible, and divisive. Think back to when you first encountered Unitarian Universalism. Consider exactly what it was that motivated you to walk through the doors of that UU church for the first time, before you knew what wonderful music and meaningful services were inside, before you felt comfortable in the community of like-minded people that you now have. There were plenty of other churches in the immediate area, I'm sure. What was it that made you choose a Unitarian Universalist church in the first place? You pass through a filter, the filter of our principles. Lose that filter, and we lose what attracted you to swim in our waters. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Steve. I'm going to stop the recording again, or I think I am. There we go.